And welcome back to the another episode of Daily News Quiz Analysis for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 4th December today, and in this video we are going to discuss various types of questions which are taken from various sources which are very much important for your preparation if you are preparing for Prelims 2025. Before we'll start our discussion, before we'll start solving these questions one by one, I would like to give you the brief introduction about the video so that you will get more connected with it. Every day on this YouTube channel, we try to upload this video so that it will help you prepare well for your examination. In this video, we discuss various types of questions. If we will divide those questions, we can divide them into three core bases. The first set of questions which we discuss here are taken from the current affairs. What we do? We take up the most important articles from the newspapers, we break them down into the simplest language possible, and we derive the prelims based questions from those articles so that it will give the idea how the questions can be asked from those news articles in your prelims exam. It will help you prepare well for your exams. It will give the idea what you should read in those newspapers, what is essential for you for clearing this examination. So this is the first set of questions which we discuss here. The questions are taken from the current affairs. The another set of questions which we discuss here are taken from the static portion. If you had followed me, you would definitely know that we had started discussing the static topics also here, and we take up the very discrete topics. You know, and very discrete topics are taken here. We take up those topics one by one and derive the prelims based questions from those articles so that it will give you the idea, it will give you that idea how discrete the topic may be. Questions can be asked from those topics and it will help you prepare well for your examination. So this is the second set of questions which we discuss here, which are taken from the static portion. And after discussing these questions with respect to the current affairs and the static topic questions, we move towards the last part of our discussion where we discuss few previous year questions too, which gives us the idea how the questions do actually look in the exam and what can be the ways and methods by which we can solve those questions. Now, this is all about this initiative what we discuss here. So I would like you guys to please do subscribe the channel and share the video with your friends so that they may also get connected with it. They may also get benefited from this initiative. Now, before we start our discussion, I would like to request you guys few things which I feel they are very much necessary for you. First of all, please do note down these questions somewhere or at least take the screenshot of these questions. These are going to be very much important for you, very much necessary for you. When your exams would be near, you would want to revise the current affairs, you would want to revise the static part, you would want to revise those previous year questions, but the time would be very much limited for you. At that time, you would have to go through various huge sources, which the time won't permit. So if you have these questions with you at that time, you would just give a revision to these questions. These questions would definitely connect you with the current affairs. These questions would definitely connect you with the static part also, and they will also connect you with the previous year questions. And this will also boost your confidence before entering the exam hall. So please do note down these questions or take the screenshot of these questions. It is going to be very much necessary and important for you. Now, without any delay, let's try to solve the first question. Let's see what does the question ask us, and let's discuss the context behind this question, and let's get the basic idea about the current affairs, what was in the news related to this question. The first question here says it is about the Places of Worship Special Provision Act 1991. What does it aim? So the question says the Places of Worship Special Provision Act 1991 primarily aims to what? So you would wonder, sir, why we had brought this question, because there was a direct article in the newspaper today which talked about the silence of the Places of Worship Act 1991. So what is the context behind it? In UP, there is a Shahi Jamia Masjid in Sambal district of UP, and there are various concerns were raised regarding that mosque, that it was built on some old Hindu temple. And with respect to that, uh, the case went to the courts, and they said that there should, it should be, investigation should be started with respect to this mosque, whether it is built on the old Hindu temple or not. And it about this mosque, it was built in the 16th century by Babur, Mughal emperor. So this is the whole issue. When the courts gave their orders that the investigation should be started, what happened? The people did not like those orders from the court, and there were definitely, communal violence was there, and unfortunately, 4 to 5 people died in that violence. So this is the context behind this question, why we had brought it. Now it becomes very much important for us to understand what are the provisions of this Places of Worship Act 1991. If we would see the act, it definitely shows that it was brought in the P.V. Narasimha Rao's government. What was the reason to bring this law? So the main reason to bring such a law in our country was to secure the secularism of our country. What does this law state here? That during our independence, when we got our independence on 15th August 1947, whatever was the state of any monument, or whatever was the state of any religious place, that would remain the same. So this is the basic provision of it. During our independence on the day 15th August 1947, whether any place it was, whether that is a mosque, or that is Hindu temple, or that is church, it will remain same, and no court will be allowed under this act. No court would be allowed to entertain such cases if such cases arise there. But there was a simple, there was a exception given to the Ayodhya case, Babri Masjid case, and that we all know about. So this is the provision of this act, that on the 15th of August 1947, whatever was the religious state of any place, that would remain the same, and the courts won't be allowed to take any such case. But with respect to this, even if we will read the Ayodhya judgment, we will see that this law, what does the Ayodhya judgment said, that this law was designed to secure secularism in India. It was designed to uphold the law of the India, and according to that case, no any such case should be entertained in by the courts if any such case comes in future. But we had seen from the history itself, from in recent times, that many such cases were entertained by the courts. For example, if we look into the Gayanwapi mosque incident, here the Supreme Court judge, D.Y. Chandrachud, the previous CJI of India, he definitely said that, their inquiry should be there. It is not like that you have to, you can't, by according to this law, that you cannot entertain this case. It does not mean that you cannot inquire about the case, whether, and according to the D.Y. Chandrachud, what does he said, that you are allowed to inquire in such matter if any such matter arises. So by taking, it was an oral observation. It was not written in any. It was not a final judgment. It was an oral observation from the D.Y. Chandrachud. So by taking this oral observation by the lower courts, they are entertaining such cases. But what does the law say? Law says that no such case can be taken. So this is the nutshell about this question, why we had brought such question here. Now let's try to recap what we understood in this law, that what was the physical or religious state of any place of worship, it would remain the same, and the courts are not allowed to take such cases. Now let's try to solve this question. The question says, the Places of Worship Special Provision Act 1991 primarily aims to first facilitate the conversion of religious places of worship. No, totally incorrect and totally opposite to it. Second, promote religious harmony by preserving the religious characteristic of place of worship as it existed on August 15, 1947. 100% correct. Third, establish a uniform civil code for all religious communities in India. Not at all. Fifth, regulate the construction of new religious places of worship. Not at all. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option B. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question is about the cyclone Fengal. Well, let's see what does it say. Cyclone Fengal, which recently affected parts of India, originated in which of the following regions? So we should know about that. This cyclone Fengal, it has impacted Tamil Nadu and Puducherry coastal areas, and unfortunately, many people have died because of that. You know, about why it is in news, the article was about that our country should prepare. We should be much concerned about the we should be much concerned about the preparation for those such uh, natural acts, which for such a national for such acts we should be very much prepared for that, rather than we should spend on we should spend uh, on relief and rehabilitation. We should according to the author, we should move beyond the relief and rehabilitation and focus on preparedness, that the state should be more prepared on should focus on preparedness rather than relief and rehabilitation. So in this case, what these states have to do, they have to improve their early warning system. They have to use more supercomputers. Efficient real-time messaging should be there. More focus on evacuation. Structural measures are very much necessary, which the state should take on, and all those illegal encroachments should be very well seized. So this is in a nutshell about the cyclone Hengel. Which states, what we should know, which states did it impacted? It impacted mostly Tamil Nadu and the coastal Puducherry, and we are seeing that now it is moving towards the Karnataka and Kerala also. It is impacting Karnataka and Kerala also. But where from it originated? It originated from the Bay of Bengal. So the right answer to this question is option A, which is Bay of Bengal. Now with this, let's move to the another question and try to solve that. Here the question is about the primary toxic gas released in the Bhopal gas treasury was. You would wonder why we had brought this question, because 2nd December and 3rd December are very much related to it. It was on this date in 1984 when the Bhopal gas treasury happened. Toxic wastes were released. It was the company named as Union Carbide, which is a fertilizer and insecticide company, and they were doing an experiment there, or they were doing a reaction there between the methyl isocyanide with naphthol, and unfortunately, some fumes escaped, which about methyl isonide, we should know that it has no odor, and the fumes escaped, and it spread over the nearby residencies, and many people lost their lives. So here the article was basically talking about, was it only the methyl isonide which led to this huge damage in this state, in the nearby residency, or there were many other gases involved? And now the researchers are coming that there are concerned that many other gases were also found in this incident, like the chromium was found, mercury was found, copper, nickel, and lead, and also chloroform and other such chemicals were also found. And also it is said that it is a concern, it is said that hydrogen cyanide was also found during this incident. So this is what we need to know about this article. This is what the author wants us to know about this article. So this becomes important for us. UPSC may ask you a direct question on that: what was the primary toxic gas which was released, or what were the other gases which were released? So about the primary toxic gas, which is believed that which caused all this damage, is methyl cyanide, which is option C is the correct option for this question. With this, let's move to the another question and try to solve. Here the question is about the MH-60 Romeo Seahawk, recently inducted in the Indian Navy, is primarily designed for which of the following roles? We should know about that. UPSC has now begun to ask questions from the security area also, so we should know about this. MH-60 Romeo helicopter, it is designed and developed by Lockheed Martin, a company in USA. Under the USA's program of foreign military sales program. We had bought, such helicopters, and we had ordered for 21, I believe, and 9 had reached India. So India has received 9 of them. So about this Seahawk, we should know what is its primary, and MS-60 Romeo helicopter. What is its primary, role? First, search and rescue operations only. No, it is not the primary role. Transport of troops and cargo. Not this as well. Medical evacuation. Not this. It is anti-submarine and anti-surface warfare. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option C. With this, let's move to the another question and try to do that. Here the question says, which of the following country declared martial law recently? It was a very crazy incident happened in one of these countries. You know what happened there? The president declared martial law, and you know the army chief, he very willingly accepted the post, but there is a law in that particular country which I would not name yet. That if the members of the parliament vote against it, then the president has to revoke it. And this incident happened there. The members of the parliament, they wanted to enter the parliament, but they were stopped by the army forces. But because from the pressure from the inside as well as from the outer countries, 190 members entered into the parliament and they voted against it. And finally, because from the pressure from the other countries, the said president of the particular country withdrew its revoked its martial law which they had declared recently. So now please give me the answer to this question. Which is that country? Is it Pakistan? No, definitely not. It is not Pakistan. Is it Bangladesh? Neither Bangladesh. Is it North Korea? North Korea. It is definitely South Korea. It was very much you know unexpected happened in the South Korea. Even though South Korea is very much habitual of martial laws, military coups, in especially in 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but from last 40 years there was very much smooth democracy happening. So with this, we complete today's questions with respect to the current affairs questions. Now let's shift our approach towards the static part questions. As right now, that we are discussing the fundamental rights, and we had discussed every part of the fundamental right. We had taken questions from every discrete topic. Now, today's question is on the writ of quo warranto. So, let's try to understand this writ of quo warranto with respect to this question. Here, the question says, with reference to the writ of quo warranto, consider the following statement. First, it can be issued against both public and private individual. Yes, it can be issued against public, but not on private individual. So this makes this statement correct. So what did you understood from this statement? This writ of quo warranto can be issued against the public individual. Second, it can be issued to inquire into the legality of a person holding a office. 100% correct. It can be issued against a person, his legality of holding a office. For example, there is some IAS officer or some anybody or CM or any PM. This writ can be issued against him whether he is legally bound to be there, whether he is the citizen of the country, whether his citizenship has he gained his citizenship via any fraud or something like that. So this can be issued against the public person. So this statement is correct. Statement 3, it can be issued by both the Supreme Court and the High Court. 100% correct, under Article 32 and special article under for High Courts, which we will discuss in our coming lectures. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are option 2 and option 3 only. And from the code given below, the correct code will be option B, which is 2 and 3 only. So with this, I hope you had understood this discrete topic as well. So with this, we complete our discussion with respect to the static portion. Now let's move to the last part of our discussion, where we will discuss some previous year questions and try to gain some information from them. It is very simple forward question. It says, Quit India movement was launched in response to what? Was it launched in response to the cabinet mission plan? No. Was it launched in response to Simon Commission report? No. Was it launched in response to Wavell plan? No. It was definitely launched in response to the Cripps proposal. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option B. Now coming to the last question of today's discussion, it says the 1929 session of the Indian National Congress is of significance in the history of freedom movement because the attainment of self-government was declared as the objective of the Congress. No, self-government was never not declared as the objective. Non-cooperation movement was launched. No, not it. Decision to participate in the Round Table Conference in London was taken. No. Attainment of Purna Swaraj was adopted as the goal of Congress. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct option is option B. So this attainment of Purna Swaraj was adopted as the goal of the Congress. It was adopted in the 1929 session of the Indian National Congress, and it is of this significance in the history of the freedom movement of India. So with this, I hope you had understood today's discussion, you had understood every question which we discussed here, and you had understood what is the context behind the questions which we discussed with respect to the current affairs. Now with this, I would like to take a leave. Please do subscribe the channel and share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. And please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you. You can criticize us, but be very much respectful in that. We want to learn more, and at the same time we don't want to get demotivated. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you very much.